AM 1020 KDKA. This is Car Stars and everything in between. He's the star, Richard Mazzy, Schultz Ford, SchultzFord.com. I'm Bubba from 100.7 Star. So I'm driving around the city, and I see this amazing Schultz Ford F-150. And there's this amazing logo on the side and the back that says Comedy Driven. And who's in it but Matt Light, comedian extraordinaire, which is awesome. Listen, I can say that I was in the very first drive you had with that F-150.
I think you were also the first person to fart in it too. I think you were the first person.
That is true. Richard's favorite word.
That's gross.
You don't like that word?
No, that's disgusting. I hate that.
I love it.
Hi, Matt.
Hi, Richard. How are you?
I'm great. Matt, how did you become part of this Schultz Ford thing? I think you guys did this behind my back. I never knew anything about it. Kara and Chelsea and Bubba, you guys all went out and did this and then said, hey, look what we did.
Exactly.
That's pretty much exactly what happened. No, I saw that you guys were doing a lot of social media things and you were outreaching the community and things like that. And, the last year I spent in Dallas, I'm back home in Pittsburgh now. And you have the biggest reputation in the city. And I figured if I'm going to come back to the city, we should work on something together and build something exciting and fun and something that really catches people's eyes throughout the spring and summertime. So we decided to do this and hopefully you guys see it on the road soon.
Yeah. So what are we seeing on the road, Matt? What would we see?
So we have a hybrid F-150, which is amazing for me because I'm somebody who my dad always was a blue collar guy, always had a truck. I'm kind of like not handsy or anything like that. So I was like, oh, I don't know if a truck's for me. And I tell you what, for somebody who doesn't do that, this truck is still luxurious. It's still that's what's crazy for me. It's not trucks aren't the way that they were before where you're just helping your buddy move or you're just doing it for work. I mean, all the features that are inside of it are incredible. The screen is huge. You can watch YouTube videos, which safely, of course. And I've loved it. Also, it has heated seats, which is something that I need from going from 80-degree weather in Texas to now 12 degrees in Pittsburgh.
So Matt, the side of the truck says Comedy Driven. What does that mean?
So Comedy Driven is a series we're doing with Schultz Ford, is where I'll be bringing some local celebrities from the Pittsburgh area. They'll be driving around certain areas, maybe North Park or some areas in the city that they've been influenced by or they want to tell a story about. We drive around for about 20 minutes. We tell funny stories about the city. And what I like to do is I like to get a little background story about these people because whether they're public figures or not everybody knows who they really are outside of that helmet or off the field or even you. I mean, Bubba, like you're on radio all the time, so it's nice to see your beautiful face. And that's why you're, yeah.
By the way, I know that you're lying already because you said celebrities, and I was the first person on this. I'm not a celebrity. When's Richard? I want to know when Richard's going to be doing this.
Well, let's first of all, it's really exciting because it was brought to me by Kara and Chelsea in the concept, and it sounds an awful lot like comedians in cars.
Yeah.
And I love that idea because it's our local version of that. With our local celebrities. And yeah, Bubba, I mean, you are a celebrity.
Yeah.
I know when we go out, I get more attention, but that's okay.
As you should.
Yeah, I mean, if there's ever going to be a Mount Rushmore of radio in Pittsburgh, you're on at least 3 of the 4 faces, man.
That's only because I've mummified after being so old. But in any event, that said, it's a very cool time for us. And I love the title, Driven, by Schultz Ford. And I just think
Comedy Driven.
Yeah.
I love it. I do. I love it. And the F-150, what you talked about, the F-150, it's things that I say, they are luxurious. It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. It's not like a truck. So I love that. I love who you are. And are you appearing anywhere right now?
As far as performing, well, right now I'm shooting Mayor of Kingstown. I have a very small role.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so I play a correctional officer. I think that's pretty much all I can say. But we're shooting until about June. So it's been a lot of fun for me. Technically, I'm a stunt actor, which is interesting because I'm 5'5" with asthma. So I don't know how I got it, but they had me audition with professional wrestlers that are like 6'4". They're all big, steroided guys, and then I'm here with an albuterol inhaler. I'm like, "What's up, guys? Where do I fit in?"
How? And this is a question I think you can answer. How often are you filming?
So they film almost every day. They're filming multiple episodes at once. I mean, it's absolutely insane. Me personally, I shoot about 3 days every 3 weeks. But what I didn't understand about the industry is that you don't know until the night before or the day of when you're shooting. So you have to be available at all times. It's been a little chaotic with my schedule because I'm not able to book as many stand-up shows right now. So this has been priority number one for me. But I tell you what, it's so exciting because you see all the behind the scenes. I mean, like you're shooting a local scene in like a jail cell, right? And you think, oh, there's probably one camera, somebody that yells action. There's 37 people in this small, and I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they don't end up on camera. It is so unique. It's been a great experience. And, I'm looking forward to seeing what we're doing over the next 4 months.
Do you work directly with Jeremy Renner at all?
No. He had a shower scene the same time I had another scene. So
okay, that's weird.
No, I'm saying that was the only time we would have, but he was in a different area. So I haven't met him yet. But I've met a bunch of the other cast and crew, and it's at first you think you'd be intimidated, but they're all very likable people. They're very nice. I have yet to meet Jeremy, but if he comes into the yard, I might have to show him who's boss.
So Matt, this is it's so different because when you do stand-up comedy, you're on stage, you tell a joke, you get immediate response. That joke either kills it or it doesn't, and immediately. This is something that you've got to record, and then you have to wait for like a year before you see what you do. Is that bother you?
No, only because I think that the pressure with stand-up comedy, as you know, Bubba, it's a lot more difficult for me because it's me versus the audience, where I have a cast and crew around me that in case I screw something up, somebody else can be like, hey, you can fix this. And you can reshoot it until you perfect it. With stand-up, it's like if you miss that joke or you say it wrong, you may have lost the audience. So this hasn't been too difficult for me yet, knock on wood. But I'm really excited. I think for me, the anxiousness, the time period, because I can't say much about it. So I got to wait X amount of months until I can see it and see where I actually am. And you can reminisce like, oh, that's where I was when this happened and all that. That's what I'm looking forward to.
So Matt, I want to talk about comedy.
Yeah.
I think some of the things that I've seen from you are hysterical.
Thank you.
I mean, crazy. I'm like a real comedy guy. I love comedy probably because I'm not very funny. So I look forward to people that are. And when I first met you, I tried to meet you. You were on the Bubba Show.
Yeah.
That? And I was listening to the show and I was like, oh my God, that guy's so funny. And you had to leave. And I said, please don't let him leave till I get there. And you left anyway.
Bubba kind of pushed me out though. Like he was like, oh, we got to go. We got to make room. Because Kara was there and like Kara can attest for this. She was like, oh, all right, well, we'll see you later. I'm like, I'm getting kicked out. Also, to be fair, it's a good idea that we met the way that we did because, fun fact, I'm not going to name what vehicle I was driving at the time, but it was rear-wheel drive and the weather was terrible. If I stayed, I would have been in a lot of trouble. So now that I got the F-150, we can do Snowpocalypse, and I'll be here whenever you want.
All right, listen, Matt Light is here. This is Cars, Stars, and everything in between. Richard Bazzi is going to talk comedy with Matt Light when we return.
Love it. Love it. How does it feel? You're responsible for this. Huh? You guys are the ones. I know I'm live. Hi, people.
They were the ones with the comedy-driven name and everything. So all that's
how many people are listening?
Yeah.
Chelsea, how many people? No. Hi. everybody. Oh, my.
Here we go with part 2. Here we go. 100.1 FM, AM 1020, KDK. This is Cars, Stars, and everything in between. He's the star, Richard Massey, Schultz Ford, SchultzFord.com. I'm Bubba from 100.7 Star, and we have a star amongst us.
True star.
A true star. Not only is he a star, he's got a huge role in Mayor of Kingstown, but he's also friends with stars to the point that, like, I have become pseudo distant friends with Jeremy Piven as a result of the friendship between.
Wait a minute. Jeremy Piven?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Jeremy Piven texts me all the time now. That's not a joke.
Stop it.
I swear to God. In fact, Matt Light is performing with Jeremy Piven at the Byam downtown March 21st, right?
Yes, sir. I will be
Okay, that's
there.
like my favorite show in the world.
Entourage?
Yes.
Okay, so I have to spoil something. So I've known Jeremy for about 6 years now, and I first met him at the Pittsburgh Improv when he was first starting to do a stand-up comedy tour, and I knew who he was, but I was a big fan of him from his role on it was Rush Hour 2, where he plays the fashion dresser. So I've never watched Entourage, and I know he's one.
What?
I know, but I just started watching it a month ago with my buddy Ryan, and I'm 6 seasons in, and it's so weird because, like, now I'm starstruck. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, his role is unbelievable. But guys, he's got a movie coming up right now called The Performance.
Legit.
And I've seen clips of it, and I will tell you that when you think of like comedy, he's hysterical as Ari Gold. This is a drama. It's about a tap dancer who is in the U.S. and he goes over to Berlin during World War II, and he's Jewish, and it is it's dramatic, and his acting is unbelievable. I mean, I've never seen somebody have so much range from being able to make somebody laugh and to cry like this. I mean, he's a star.
And the backstory on this movie with his mother is absolutely unbelievable. It's his mother that gave him the book that inspired him.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is really interesting, because I also think, and I'll move over just to the Academy Awards that were on Sunday night. I believe that Timothée Chalamet did not win his Academy Award because it wasn't as layered as you're talking about Jeremy's role is, and how he can go from comedy to drama. And I don't think that Timothée Chalamet had much opportunity, and I love him, by the way, but didn't have much opportunity to do anything in that movie except sing. So you were watching, so I have seen Jeremy in other things, and I am a true fan, and so I'm going to insist that I meet him.
Yeah,
because
we will make it happen.
I am a true fan. I'm a fan of him. I'm a fan of the show. It's a life. I mean, I lived that life. It was great.
Richard, Jeremy Piven, honestly, is one of he did our show either once or twice before. Matt said, Jeremy wants you to text him. I'm like, what? I text him, responded within 30 seconds, text me just to check on me, which is such an odd thing from such a big celebrity.
That's so cool.
He's an absolute sweetheart. He's one of the greatest guys in Hollywood, and it's pretty crazy to just see him randomly text you throughout the day.
Hey, Matt, I have a very serious question for you that directly it has to do with Richard Massey. Could you possibly teach Richard Massey how to be funny?
I think he's already funny.
Funny? Funny?
Yeah. You're one. First of all, the key to being funny is you smile a lot and you're confident. If you're confident and you're smiling, everybody already likes you. You're already, everyone already sees you in the room. It's more just being likable. The hardest thing about comedy is being likable. If they already like you, they're on board from the beginning. For example, like, who's your favorite comedian?
Me?
Yeah.
I like what's his name?
Oh, that guy.
No, I like Sebastian, but I like the
Sebastian
the
Maniscalco.
the guy from Tennessee, Nashville. Clean. He's a clean comic.
Oh,
Ryan Regan.
Nate Bargatze.
Yeah,
Nate-
I like Bragazzi.
Okay, so let's say Nate and I do a show together, okay? And Nate, you already know what Nate is all about. You've seen him before. From the second he goes up on stage, you're already on board with him, right? You already like him. He might not have the best set, but you already enjoyed yourself. Now, I open up for him. You've never seen me do stand-up before. I have to work for it. I have to earn every single laugh. You have something in this city where you've already earned the reputation of being a good person, of being funny. So as soon as you go up there, they're already going to enjoy you.
I think we need to find a way for Richard Massey to do stand-up comedy at some point in his life. Richard,
Matt,
let's make him open up for me.
How long is your typical set? Is it an hour?
So if I'm headlining, I do about 50 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
And Richard, I think your goal should be to do 5 minutes.
No, I can't do it.
What if I teach you? How about that's the goal? So listen, every year I'm going to pressure you right now. Every year I do an ugly sweater Christmas party show. It's in December.
Awesome.
What if I give you 9 months to be like Rocky? You can train, you can punch raw meat, chase chickens. We'll get you in comedy shape to do 5 minutes at my show.
Richard, say yes.
No.
Why?
Why would you say no?
No, Matt, let's go back to you. The most important part of this show. Matt, do you have a favorite joke?
Of mine or like of mine in general?
Yeah, of yours.
I think my favorite joke is something that was actually true to me. I'm going to go a little dark here, but I'll keep it as clean as possible. So 11 years ago, I had Hodgkin's lymphoma, and I had stage 3 blood cancer.
Oh my God.
And so one of the things, as soon as I was diagnosed, they said, they told me over the phone, which is weird. They didn't even tell you in person. So they were like, hey, call your loved ones, call who you need to call. Being a comedian,
that has to be a terrible call to receive.
At 24 years old, I mean, it was tough, because you don't know if you're going to make it or not. So the first person I called, because I was like, who do I call? Like my parents, what are they going to do for me? I literally called Make-A-Wish immediately. and I called Make-A-Wish and I was like, hey, I'd like to sign up for your rewards program.
What?
And
This is very dark.
Okay, this is actually funny.
And they were like, what do you mean? I said, I just found out I had cancer. And they're like, I'm so sorry. I go, yeah, I know. But like, can I get my Make-A-Wish? And they're like, okay, what do you have in mind? And I said, well, WWE is coming into town in January for the Royal Rumble. And she said, okay, we can get you tickets and you can meet John Cena. Now, John Cena is known for giving the most Make-A-Wishes in the history of the Make-A-Wish program. He's a great guy. I'm 24. At this time, people 24 weren't fans of John Cena, because it was more so for kids. So I replied and I said, first of all, I already have tickets. Second of all, I don't want to meet John Cena. And they were like, well, what do you want? And I said, I want The Undertaker. Huh. Not that eventually I felt like I was going to see one, but I want the wrestler.
That's dark.
And they're like, can you please hold? I said, I'm not done. I want The Undertaker to choke slam me through a table.
Oh, my God.
So
this is on the day you received the call about cancer.
Yeah, listen, I'm a comedian. If you don't laugh, you cry. Laughter has helped me so much therapeutically.
I'll keep going. This story's unbelievable.
So she goes, can you please hold? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know how much time I got. I just was told I have cancer. So can we go, And they put me on hold. And I'm on hold and they're playing like Sarah McLachlan's sad music. And I'm like, what are we doing? So she comes back and she says, hey, I forgot to ask you, how old are you? And I was like,
here we go.
So I'm trying to think how I can still sound like a kid. I'm like doing the math on my phone. I'm like, I'm 822 months old. And they're like, what? I said, I'm 24. And they're like, we can't offer you a Make-A-Wish. And I was like, why not? They said the Make-A-Wish cutoff is at 18. And I said, okay, but like, that's the only issue. And they're like, yeah, everything else checked out. I said, so if I was a 5-year-old who was sick, you were going to let the 7-foot phenom throw me through a table? Like, that's like, what? Like, I'm an adult. I can handle that bump. You know what I mean?
Oh my God. Matt Light.
They sent me a $50 gas station gift card. That was my Make-A-Wish.
What?
Yeah.
But wait a minute. The worst part of this story, which could be the best part,
is the phone call.
Yeah, is the fact that that was your thought process when you were told that you had a very life-changing event happening, and you called.
Yeah, well, I also thought it was weird that they did it over the phone. You remember the good old days when they would tell you news in person? Like, that was 11 years ago. Like, what do they do now? Do they just like send you a Snapchat with a sad puppy filter? Got bad news, LOL. Like, what?
Okay, that's funny. Do you use that?
I end with it usually. Yeah, I end with it because I don't want to open it up in the beginning and tell people I have cancer, because then people feel bad for me and then they'll laugh immediately. I like to be like the jerk with class the whole time. And then at the end, I bring that up because it's like, oh, they say laughter is the best medicine. So if you didn't laugh at my jokes, you took 10 years off my life.
I'd actually like to see Ari Gold represent you as his age, he's your agent, trying to get you work in Hollywood after you have told the world that you're terminal and Make-A-Wish has turned you down.
Oh, that would be a great show. That would be phenomenal. Yeah.
Wow. Well, keep your eyes out for the black and gold Ford F-150 from Schultz Ford. It says comedy driven. Matt Light's driving it. Matt, you are hilarious. You're amazing.
Thank you.
I'm expecting Jeremy to be texting me later.
Yeah.
I will make the meeting happen, and hopefully we can have a comedy driven episode with Mr. Ari Gold himself.
And by the way, if you do that, you'll lose Jeremy as a friend. I'm just warning you now, Matt.
Yeah.
Listen, there is a real Ari Gold.